Good morning. Sitting here today with Denise Hernandez in West Oso ISD. What's your exact job title and description?
Maintenance director for transportation and maintenance.
Okay. So the focus of this interview is on use of technology. What type of technology do you use on a routine basis to manage your department?
It would be air conditioning.
Uh-huh.
Excuse me.
It's okay.
Okay, she's got it.
Okay.
We use, if you can see right back to me, I have a computer that stays on in my office all the time.
Okay.
So I can get to any of the schools through here to see if there's a problem. So when I come in the morning, I check just to make sure all the schools are cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then if there's a problem, in most cases, I could catch the problem and call the HVAC tech and tell them it looks like this room's not cooling. I can actually get on there and go to a section of the school that's not working properly and then look at what's not working properly. So he doesn't have to start from ground zero.
Okay. What kind of program is that?
There's several different programs, but we use one that's put out by Train. It's called Tracer, and then we have one that's put out by Johnson Controls. So the thing that you have to learn quickly here is all these different programs for different schools.
Wow.
I would hope that in the future we could integrate into one program. That's what I'm working on.
Okay. So we have 4 campuses that you're using different programs?
All different programs. So that was the hard thing when I got here. It was like, okay, how do I use this program? So it's a learning curve.
Wow.
If I'd have been here when they were installing the programs, I would have made them all one program.
So I guess as they built the difference, but I don't know. Not sure who made those decisions. So what kind of training do you and your staff have? Like for example, to use the technology?
The air conditioning?
Yeah.
The tech that I hired actually came from A&M University, and he was familiar with some of the software, and it's pretty much almost the same.
Okay.
You know, there's some generic things about the program, of course. There is a lot to learn. It's really mostly on hands, where you have to get in there and just try to figure out things. Okay. And then, of course, when you get a new school and they bring that software on, they'll do a training for about a day or half a day. Okay. But then you're on your own after that.
So do you take care of most of it, or can the building administrators have access to any of this?
It's just myself and my HVAC tech.
Okay.
I know some of the principals want to use it because after hours, if they forget to put a facility request in, the air conditioning doesn't turn on.
Okay.
The only thing is I really don't want people in there because you can change things and then we won't know what you changed and it would be hard for us to get in and diagnose what's going on. Sometimes we might be able to figure it fast, but when people are in the school,
and they're trying to troubleshoot, and they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think, because last year we had problems at the elementary, or I guess we still have problems at the elementary. How many different units, like in one school, are there?
Well, there's, for example, if we use the JFK, there's 8 different air handlers.
Okay.
So one for the gym, one for the cafeteria, one for each hallway, one for administration. That's how it works.
And they can all function or not function, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, what about in other areas, like with transportation? Is that?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know if you would consider the bus video cameras.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
We have a GPS on our buses, but it's not live GPS.
Okay.
We could go live, but it's expensive, and we're a small district, so for the most part, we don't need it. We know where our buses are going. The good thing about having the GPS on your buses, if you ever have a wreck, I can take the video off the bus, I can look at it, and it'll actually tell me exactly where the bus went, how fast they were going, did they hit their brakes, did they turn their directional on?
Wow.
I mean, it can help us liability-wise. If we ever had a wreck and somebody says, well, you didn't put your turn signal on or hit your brakes, we can tell you exactly what time we hit the brakes, how they use their turn signal.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So...
Well, what about scheduling? And I guess do you do the scheduling? Does Silvis do it?
Yeah. Our routes don't change much.
Right. But then all the field trips and all that kind of stuff.
But like the field trips, she puts them into, I think she's using Outlook. And she just writes down, in Outlook, right. And then that's how she keeps track of it for budget-wise. Because at the end of the year, we have to each route, we have to count the mileage, how many students, if it was within 2 miles from the school. I mean, there's a lot of criteria on these reports. So she keeps track of it in here, and it's an everyday thing where every time a bus rolls out, we have to track the mileage.
Okay.
But she uses Outlook for that.
Okay. So. And what about maintenance needs? Is there a separate like a work orders? Are they done electronic through the computers too?
Right. That's done through a program we call School Dude.
Okay, School Dude.
And it's a cloud.
Okay.
And so I could actually take my iPad and take it with me as long as I have Wi-Fi access. I can actually walk through a building and just do work orders while I'm walking through the building.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So that's kind of clicking things up. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
And it's a good program. I like it because before I had to go to an IT person and ask them for a certain report, like if I was looking for a problem.
Right.
With this one, I just call for support.
Mm-hmm. And they can get you where you need to go.
Yeah, because once you set up your system, you know, if you do it right, you can get your reports, any report you want. So
you were saying you have to do all these reports for mileage. Where is that here or to like TEA or where are those reports?
Yeah,
go?
that actually. Well, I send 2 out.
Okay.
2 reports a year that go to TEA that we get funding for.
Got it.
Right. So what the mileage that I turn in is how we get funded, and then of course it's special needs. Some of it's special needs. We get more money for that.
Right.
So it's a lot. It's a lot to track.
Had you worked in similar positions in other districts?
I used to work for the A&M University.
Okay.
And I worked for Kingsville.
Okay.
So it was different there because it's so large.
Right.
Like you said, I only had building maintenance. I didn't have transportation. I didn't have grounds. I didn't have HVAC. Everything was separated.
Okay.
But they actually had an office there that they did everything. Mm-hmm. So they would just generate the work orders. I would just have the guys do the work, and then they'd come back, and I'd give them.
So you weren't really managing. I mean, you were managing the guys, but not the entire reporting system.
Right, because the system was so, you know, it's so big. I had like 57 buildings. Wow. So, whereas versus here, I have maybe total 8, you know, with the portable buildings and central office. So it's different. But
now the safety stuff. Was that more with technology or with the IT department?
With you mean like reports?
Well, no, I was thinking safety, like alarms and stuff like that.
Yeah, I take care of that.
Oh, you do?
Yes, yes. And that I actually do. I have a program that I can actually on my phone.
Oh, wow.
Now it's on my phone. Now I can disarm buildings and arm buildings from my phone.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So
if you, for whatever reason, aren't on a campus or whatever, and there's a problem.
See if, like, say for example, somebody needs to get on the weekends and they have the key but they don't have a code.
Right.
They can call me and I can disarm and then arm the building when they're gone.
Wow.
It tells me like if it goes into alarm, if a burglar alarm goes off, I have it set up where it just texts me. And I know there's a burglar alarm.
And has that happened?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, a lot. And
regularly?
I can actually see, like, on my phone, who's going in and out of the building, what time, and who's disarming it.
Oh, wow.
So it helps me to track if there's a problem. Like, if somebody's going in a building and I see they're not supposed to be going in that building. Yeah, who's that person? Yeah, because they'll set off the alarm, and a lot of times they don't know they set off the alarm.
Okay.
So then I know, okay, they're in that building. So, yeah.
And this district seems pretty careful about who has keys to buildings.
Yes.
Because I've worked places where pretty much everyone.
Liability-wise, you don't want people in your building if, you know.
You want to be able to kind of monitor who's coming and going.
Right.
So what are the strengths? You talked about some of the strengths. What are the weaknesses within, any other strengths and weaknesses with the technology that you would like to either, you said you can bring it from your phone, so that's a positive.
Yes.
And
Well, you know, the more, I think the more you learn, like, for example, if somebody calls me, I have an iPad that I use, which is convenient, because I used to have to carry around a laptop.
Right.
Well, that's kind of hard, but I could bring an iPad now. But there's some things I can't do because I don't have a mouse on the iPad.
Okay.
So it makes it a little bit difficult to right-click. And so there's things that you kind of have to learn.
Yeah.
Right. There's limitations. But you do have to keep up with it pretty. I guess you don't realize as you're going along.
How much you're learning.
Yeah, and then I stepped back when you talk about technology. I thought, I don't use technology. And now I'm going, my gosh, I couldn't operate without technology.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how they did it. We used to have to
send a maintenance guy over to each AC.
Yeah,
and
turn it on, click, click, click.
Yeah.
You know, and then right now, I mean, everything's so computerized. You know, a motor used to just turn on and off like a car. You hit it and it cranks up. Now it actually brings it up real slow, carefully to save electricity.
Wow.
And so everything's computerized. You got circuit boards everywhere. We actually have people under contract that come out just to look at the controls.
Okay.
That's not air conditioning. That's just to look at the controls.
Oh, wow.
So it's just technology. And
so if you had a wish list, I know you said one part of the wish list would be making the air conditioning programming consistent.
yes.
Is there anything else that you would, if I gave you $1 million for technology? No. But was there other stuff that you would, like you've seen out there that you would like the district to have?
If it was affordable, security, I think, I wish I had money to do security, because we have the technology right now. We could lock down every building, and we could actually see the person. If there was a shooter in a building, we could know exactly where they're going. But it's expensive.
Okay.
You know, and what do? You buy a program to help the teachers, the students,
right.
or do you buy something for security? And I think right now, you know, the focus is on security, but there's that, you know, that
tension, I guess, between
where, okay, are we going to spend all the money on security and let the kids not have any programs, or are we going to spend it on? So I think if there's more incidents this year, we will probably be spending money on that. And
making
then
sure to...
we have access to video cameras. I can get on my computer and look through the schools.
So you can look through all schools right here?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, except one. There's one that, like, it was one of the older schools where the programming is not there yet. And, of course, it costs money if we want to bring it up. But, of course, the schools, they can look themselves in that school, and they can see their school.
Right.
So right now, I'm not pushing for that technology, but I'm sure, like I said, for security reasons, I wish I had the money to do that, because it's a nice feeling to know that if somebody walks in that building, I can lock that building down.
Right.
And instantly, because, you know, it takes a little time for people to realize what's going on, whereas I could do it right here.
Wow.
Or off my phone.
Wow, that's
I just
interesting.
think, I wish I had the money for that.
Okay, is there anything else that you can think of that we haven't talked about with technology? So the training, it sounds like most is like bringing consultants here that help you, or like customer support kind of training. It's not really too much formal training?
It's not too much formal training. It's, like I said, when you get the building, well, I wasn't here when they had 2 buildings, so I lost out on the training.
Right.
So a lot of times they'll have support that you could call. Actually, that's what this computer, if I were to log on, it would have everybody's number of who I call for support. And what they actually do is, Train will actually get on the computer. I'll give him my IP address.
Okay, he'll take over control.
They'll take over.
It's weird, right?
So this is how you're going to do it. So it's like you do have training out there. You just have to go through step by step.
Right.
And I think that's a better way to learn, because I could sit through a training class and they cram all this information.
Yeah. But if you have the problem here, or you're talking about your particular stuff.
And then somebody will call and say, this isn't working. I'm like, well, you didn't show me how to do that, or did they show me how to do that? So if you just get on there, and I'll call the guy, I'll give him my IP address, and he's on.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.